Hey, what's up YouTube? This is We All Juggle Knives, and welcome to my review of this blade. This is the Cold Steel AK-47. It's got a thumb plate as the opener, a basher pommel. The blade length is 3.5 inches. It has a DLC coating. This is the newest model, which has the upgraded CTS-XHP steel. All right, it's got G10 handle scales and the famous triad lock. You know, over the years, many people have highly recommended this blade to me. And when I saw they upgraded the steel, I said, you know what? Now is the time. The current price is around $100. You know, they upgraded the price as well. The price subject to change. I will include Amazon links. You want to pick one up. I've done a lot of stuff with this knife, got some usage footage coming up for you. Right, but this knife, it is sold as a tactical blade. That's code word for a blade with a lot of weapon potential. You know, pound for pound. You know, it's not a sword, obviously. Right, here it is just going through some cardboard. You know, at $100, this would be quite the expensive utility knife. But the point here is, if you had to use it as such, you could. But as far as the weapon potential of this blade, well, you got the basher pommel. You also have a very pointed tip for piercing. And you've got one of the strongest possible locks. You know, if you're going to go folder, you need one of the strongest possible locks. And you may very well have to use a folder in that role simply because of convenience, carryability, and concealability. And considering the blade shape, you know, it's extra wide for how short the blade is, and that gives you more belly for slicing, right? So this is a basher, a piercer, a slicer, a close cutter. The handle to blade length ratio on this knife is very interesting. Basically, the handle is a lot longer than the blade. Now, a lot of people don't like that, but a lot of people make a big exception for this particular knife because one of the reasons the handle is longer on this is that very distinctive basher pommel that a lot of people really like. It gives you a less lethal option. Now, I don't want to get hit with that any more than the next guy, but it can be less lethal than stabbing. Okay, not always, though. I mean, that can crack a skull. Obviously, common sense is always necessary in self-defense. Speaking of the basher pommel, I assaulted my pallet there. Stabbed it a little. I think it's dead. And I was going easy on it because I had to hold my camera in my other hand. This thing can deal way more destruction if you really have to. And that pommel can also be used as a rescue item, a window breaker for car crashes and so forth. Okay, initial sharpness. I filmed this when I first got the knife, before I did anything with it, right out of the box. This thing arrived very sharp. Very sharp. I would give it an A, maybe even an A+. No complaints about that. Here's some footage of me carving with it, sped up. I've done a lot with this knife. You can see the wear and tear on the finish itself, and yet I haven't resharpened it yet, and it's still well sharp enough to carve and whittle with. So why is this knife so popular? Well, you know, this has been tested by so many people because the design has been around for so long. Like, yes, they have upgraded the steel, but it's still the exact same ergonomics. How you like my shank? Yeah. In Russia, shank carves you. Get it? AK, Russia. What's up? Anyway, this is really popular. The steel is upgraded, but the handle shape, the blade shape, that's all still the same. So that's all been tested, like the ergonomics and, of course, the triad lock. Like, so many people have owned one of these. And over the years, just from talking to many people who have owned one, I can tell you the feedback out there, overwhelmingly positive. You know, this is sold as a weapon with backup utility. Speaking of weapon, that's for debt collection on the yard, bro. I'm just kidding. A lot of people like something like this to back up a handgun, right? So primary use as a bladed weapon, hopefully in self-defense, obviously. Secondary use, utility. And day-to-day, you're much more likely to just be using this as a utility blade, as a cutting tool. And it is well tough enough for some dirty or difficult tasks. I mean, as much as a folder can be. Now, if you're not interested in the commando uses, we'll just use that euphemism, you might want to check out the mini version of this, which is smaller, shorter, and easier to carry. Right? I will include Amazon links to this. Here's a flyby for you. This comes with 2 pocket clips, by the way, so left or right. I carry on both sides. But yes, you can check out the mini. Just go to the Amazon links I will include in the text description box. And if you click on the link for this, Amazon will put the, you can then navigate to the mini. I guarantee Amazon will put the links to the mini right from the link to this. Right? And either one that you buy will help support the channel. Please try to use those links. You know, this is a weapon knife. I don't know if YouTube will even allow this video to be monetized. So if you want to keep seeing stuff like this discussed, please use those Amazon links to help support the channel. Do I recommend this? Yes, I do. It is very solid. The price currently is $100. However, as the years go by, that could obviously go down. But, you know, that's fairly expensive for most people. But this has been so extensively tested by people over the years, you can feel good about spending that on this because it is a known quantity and it is rock solid. I hope you enjoyed seeing it. This has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.